Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining us today for our live demonstration of Desk.com. Just to give you kind of a heads up on what you'll be hearing from us today, I'm going to talk just a little bit about the product, actually more from a point of view of why we built the product the way we did and kind of how Desk.com approaches customer service. Because I hope in knowing kind of the foundation of how we build our product, you'll be able to more, see the demonstration through the lens of, kind of like what we intend and how we choose to serve our customers by the way we build our product. And hopefully that will give you some more context as you're deciding, if you're deciding on which product is the best product for your specific needs. So let's start off really, really quickly in true Salesforce fashion. I just have to mention our safe harbor statement, which basically states, please just base any purchasing decision on currently available technology. We may talk about some aspects of the product that are on our roadmap. And so all we ask is that you take that into consideration and make those decisions only based on what's currently available. So who's talking right now? My name is Elvis Greer. I'm on the product marketing team here at Desk.com, and I'm really excited to be with one of our all-star sales engineers, Frances Zhang. She's actually going to be the one taking you through the demonstration of the product. So connect with us. You're connecting with us right now, obviously, by joining us on this webinar, but other ways to connect with us. You can go on Twitter and tweet us at Desk, #CustServeWins. There's going to be a live Q&A after the demonstration, so please, while I'm talking, while Frances is giving you guys the demo of the product, if any questions come to mind now or later, please just go ahead and type in your questions in the box provided, and we will get to those questions at the end. Finally, this webinar is being recorded so that either you or any of your coworkers or colleagues that happen to want to experience this webinar but were unable to attend, we will actually be sending out a link to everybody that was registered with a recording of the video for you to share. So let's dive right in. Now, going back to what I said is, how does Desk.com approach business? Well, we approach business in what I think any smart product should do first, and that's understanding the challenges of their customers, right? So we obviously talk to our thousands of customers on a day in, day out basis, and we find, basically three distinct things that are pretty comparable across all of our customers' issues. And for those of you that are studs at customer service, this might not be a surprise to you, but for those of you that are just starting to explore, maybe you have a brand new business, work for a small startup, or are just getting started, hopefully these challenges will help you understand and hopefully help you relate to some of the problems that a lot of our customers faced before coming to Desk.com. So the first one is we find that the customers of our customers have a very difficult time finding answers to questions. And so what does that mean? If you're a brand new business and you're just getting started, chances are you don't have a lot of resources where your customers can find answers to their questions without contacting you directly. Now, in very plain terms, this is basically called a support site, right? And so giving your customers the ability to help themselves is a huge win, and it's a huge factor in basically answering that problem. How can customers find answers to the questions that you want to provide about your product or service? The next one is customers falling through the cracks. So what does this mean? It means if you're using Gmail or a shared inbox and spreadsheets to manage your incoming customer inquiries, you're going to miss customers that are coming to you, that have questions, that are having issues, and you're not going to be able to keep up with the increasing influx of concerns, issues, comments, questions, praises, any interactions that your customers will have with you. A shared inbox and spreadsheets won't scale. So you need the ability to make sure that you catch every single customer interaction, right? So for a growing business, customers are very, very important. Every single customer is very, very important. Not all of us can be Comcast or United and can afford to lose many customers because we have so many, right? So as a growing business, you really have to focus on every single customer as if they were your own. And so the final bucket here of challenges that we tend to speak to our customers about is making business decisions. Now, this tends to come from our customers that are a little bit more experienced about customer service. They kind of have the process down pat. They're responding to customers in a reasonable amount of time. They're able to easily and efficiently answer customers' questions, etc. But then they get to a point where they really want to use that data about what their customers think, not only about their product or service, but about their support process. And they want to take that data and they want to use that data to make informed business decisions going down the road. So any technology solution that you're considering, should have a viable reporting option that enables you to see the overall health of your support team, as well as a very high level what customers are saying about your product or business. And that reporting solution should give you the ability to very easily and very quickly dig down all the way to the specific inquiry or case that led to that, ideating, or it led to that idea that something's wrong here, we need to fix it. And so those are the three challenges that we find. And so how does Desk.com approach these challenges? So for the helping customers find answers to their questions, it's self-service, right? It's helping your customers help themselves. And for us, it's a self-service portal. So Desk.com comes with a self-service portal out of the box that either can be provided via template for those of you that actually don't want to design your own web page, all the way to a completely customizable experience. Now, what this does right off the bat is it deflects cases. If you can provide really clear and really robust answers to a lot of the questions that your customers are asking of you, your agents are going to receive a lot less emails, right? Because if you're doing a great job of helping your customers answer their own questions, your agents are going to save time, they're going to be able to focus on the more important issues, and your customers are going to be happier because most of us prefer to just get the answers to our own questions as opposed to having to wait for a response. Hopefully you can relate to that. And a few other amazing details, which Francis will go into more detail about this in the demo, but our templates have a responsive design, which means your support center will look amazing no matter what device, because I can tell you from experience and just from reading any article about it, that most people now are using their mobile devices to take in information and to get information, right? So they're not necessarily in front of their computer like I am right now. They're on, a bus, they're in, a passenger in the car, they're waiting for somebody, and they're on their phone trying to get the answers to those questions. So that responsive design is very, very important. Next is, the customers falling through the cracks issue. So how does Desk.com combat that? So what's pretty common in our space, and you'll find this with many technology solutions, is that we all have a pretty robust set of productivity tools and automations that help agents do their job more quickly. And again, for those of you that are kind of new to this space, what does that mean? What does productivity tools mean? It basically means a lot of things that technology can enable your agents to do automatically that otherwise they'd have to do manually. So for example, if your agents happen to get a specific question a lot every single day, instead of your agents typing out that very same email every single day many times over, you can build what we call a macro. And by the click of a button, your agents can pre-populate their email template with a canned response, whether it's I forgot my password, how do I reset, etc. So that, again, without writing an email, all they have to do is click a button, and that automated predetermined response gets sent off to that customer immediately, and now your agent can go on and work on the more important duties. Now, the difference between Desk.com and other solutions that you might see out there is the way that we approach this. So we approach productivity and automation and efficiency from the point of view of building a very, very central workspace. And I'll get into more details about this later, but this is going to incorporate what you see in the demo and how we approach our business moving forward. Lastly is, again, giving you, our customer, the ability to get insights on your customers. And that means a very, very robust reporting portal. So let's go ahead and dig in a little bit more detail. So I talked about self-service, right? This is a way for you easily to have your customers answer questions themselves 24/7. We have a true multi-brand experience at Desk.com. And so what does that mean? If you have different products or serve different customer bases, Desk.com, and again, this is a huge difference between us and other solutions that you'll see out there. We give you the ability to basically put up as many support sites as you wish, and you can manage the content from all of those support sites from one location. So that means you don't have to log into another org. You don't have to open another screen. Every single thing that you need to do to either update an article or populate a new article can be done from the very same location. In your articles, you can include videos, you can include audio, and this all makes it easier for your customers to have a great experience with self-service. And I already talked about the responsive design. So let's move on to the productivity tools. So what does that mean for us, right? So what you're looking at right now, and Francis will show you this, is our universal inbox. So that means every single channel, chat, phone, email, social media, all of these channels come into one place so that your agents can easily find the cases that they need to attract, right? And so again, this is different from some of the other solutions you'll see out there. Unlike other solutions where you may have to go to another screen to see what your chat cases may be or another channel, every single channel that Desk.com takes in is visible from one location. So this is going to ensure that the right agents are getting the right information and the right cases so that they can quickly solve those cases, right? This builds into the efficiency equation. And what this means is also even native integrations, right? So not only the channels that come into Desk.com, but also any integration that we have with either a telephone provider or a chat provider, because again, we want to give you the option to choose any partner that fits best for your needs in your business. All of that is built right into the agent console. We'll show you this in the demo, but again, never having to leave the screen, never having to, go in for a new login, another application. Everything is right there, right where you need it, so your agents are quick and efficient. Finally, is this making smart decisions with Business Insights. So Business Insights is our reporting app that's, again, built natively right within Desk.com. So that means all of your data that's being produced by all of your cases and what your agents are doing is in the same data model, in the same space that the analytics and the reporting are for Business Insights. And so what does that mean? It means depending on what your needs are, you'll either have the information updated immediately in real time or at latest 24 hours, or in most cases even sooner than that. So most of the time, even beyond real time, we see most of the cases, depending on what your needs are, can be updated within 6 hours. The final piece of the puzzle is, kind of what Desk.com is growing into to meet the needs of our customers that are really growing quickly and need to quickly scale their business. And that is our integration capabilities. And so we believe that by connecting support with the rest of your business, not only does that ensure visibility across the entire organization, but it also gives for example, your salespeople much more visibility into customer issues before they actually go out and make those calls, either for an upsell or a cross sale. If your support agents have more visibility into the sales process while they're managing issues with your customers, they can better identify what proper solutions to attribute to any given customer. But again, Francis is going to talk to you in much more detail about our integrations. But very simply, you're now able to bring any application right into the Desk agent interface. And you're also, through open APIs and webhooks and other technical jargon, you're able to use Desk to export all of the data that you see in Desk.com to work with any applications that you may already be using with your own business. And so again, that's very, very high level. We're talking about the self-service. We're talking about productivity. And so we're also talking about the user interface and how we believe everything should be centralized so it's easy, it's accessible for everyone who's working on a case to quickly solve that case and provide your customers with amazing customer service. And at the end of the day, the insights part is to give admins, managers, executives a very easy way to look at all of this data at a high level and make smart decisions very, very quickly. For example, if you see a lot of your customers are in a day complaining about a very specific issue with your product, instead of reaching out to every single one of those customers, you can iterate and make a change on that product much more quickly than if you were to go, let's say, on, whether it's the Apple App Store or anything where people can probably post complaints about your product to the public. And so this gives you the opportunity to kind of nip that in the bud right before it becomes a huge issue. And so without further ado and speaking no more, I want to just say, again, very high level, Desk.com, out of the box support solution for fast growing businesses. You can get it up and running in days. You can work smarter and faster with these productivity tools in a centralized UI. And you can provide 360-degree customer views with the integration capabilities that Desk.com has with the rest of your business. So I'm going to kick it over to Frances and let her give you guys a live demonstration and show you exactly what Desk.com is all about.
All right, thank you so much, Elvis. That was fantastic. For the demo today, I wanted to lay out the flow before I dive in. I'm going to start off from the customer's perspective. So walking us through a few examples of what current customers have done with their support centers. And then we're going to walk through the different ways where an end user is able to reach out to support. After this perspective, I'm going to hop into the shoes of an internal agent working within Desk.com. Walk us through some of the productivity tools they have access to and managing and resolving tickets as they come in. And of course, wrapping up with the demo with a few minutes on Business Insights, which is the reporting tool within Desk.com. So starting off from the external facing component of Desk.com. Pandora is a great example of what can be accomplished with Desk.com. We want to make sure to enable you with all the tools you need to ensure that the experience from your main website into your support center is a seamless one. There are 2 points I really want to drive home on this page. Number one is the branding, right? We understand that the support center is an extension of your company's brand, and therefore it's critical to align the look and feel, the color scheme, the template, along with the rest of your company's personality here. Pandora, as we can see here, has done a great job of having a unique look and feel to the overall support center. And the second and probably more important point is this power of self-service, right? As an end user, I want to be able to land on the support center, even hop into the navigation bar, type in the question or issue that I have in mind, and we can see here on the screen, I'm fed back with a dynamic list of content based on the keywords I'm inputting into the search bar. Going back to this overall value of designing the help center in a way that's easy for your end users to pinpoint exactly what they're looking for and be brought to the most relevant content at all times. And to help further drive that value, right? We make it easy for you to organize the content into specific buckets or topics, as we see here. And within each topic, a list of relevant questions that roll up to that specific topic in mind. So one example, Pandora here. I also want to walk us through 53. They're a company who build tools for mobile creation. And I like to show them because they also reflect how easy it is within Desk to embed rich media in the content that you build, right? So you're able to have images, videos, whichever other content form, so that you're able to make the learning and the digestion of the content simple and engaging for your end users. Rdio, another current customer of ours, and they're an online music service company. What they leverage is the community forum that comes out of the box within Desk. And this is essentially going to be another channel, an additional channel for your end users to be able to communicate with one another in a social capacity, right? So if you wanted to push out and create a community for your customers, your partners, to be able to ask one another questions about a specific topic, solicit best practices, and really allow you to facilitate knowledge exchange. Very simple to turn it on and make that available for your end users, essentially. And of course, on the back end, on your end, you have full flexibility in monitoring the posts that are coming in, right? And that includes deleting, hiding specific posts, perhaps pushing to the very top the most popular answer and making sure that there is an additional channel, a social channel where your customers are able to engage with one another. I like to hop over to this concept of how Desk.com defines multi-brand. Elvis spoke to this a bit earlier. I just want to, affirm and really drive home. Desk.com makes it very simple for you to manage different portals and essentially create personalized experiences for the end users that you serve. So one for customers, another for partners. What we see with Bitly here, they have multiple for their clients, for their developers. And you don't need to do it by end user, right? If you have different product lines, different services that you provide, even if your business spans across multiple geographic locations, Desk.com makes it very simple for you to create different portals and therefore even push out different FAQs, knowledge bases, content, so that depending on who I am as an end user, if I'm a client, for example, if I hop into Bitly's client portal, I know without a doubt that I'm only going to be fed back with content that's relevant to this one specific brand. And of course, the administration is a piece of cake as well. You administer all of the content across your multiple brands in one centralized location on the back end. So if you have an article that spans across all of your brands, for example, you make that update once in one location and it's going to run through across all of your different brands. Moving on, I did a mock-up, a generic mock-up for our demo today, right? And similar to what we saw with Bitly's multi-brand experience, I've designed a landing page where when an end user comes on, they're able to see the different portals, right? It doesn't need to follow this format. You can have different brands with unique URLs, with unique look and feels, but just to drive home the proof of concept, right? As an end user on this page, I can see the different portals, different knowledge bases, for example, different content across the different brands. If I hop into a specific portal, this is a landing page I'm going to come across. And to what Elvis spoke to earlier, right? Regardless of where, when, or whichever device you're using, Desk is going to render across the screen and provide you with the flexibility of working with the product at all time. Similar to what we saw with Pandora, I can see that the content, right, within this portal is organized into specific topics. And within each topic, of course, list of relevant questions that roll up to each bucket. Over on the right-hand side, these are the number of ways where your customer is able to reach out to your team. Number one, for example, they can push out a question to that public forum. They can enable a live chat session with one of your teams directly if it's an urgent matter or if it's a channel in which they wish to communicate with you. And before I forget, wanted to point out that, as a customer, after I've signed in, authenticated into this specific portal, if you want to push across an authentication, I can pull up a list of all of the cases, conversation tickets that I might have submitted in the past, filter this down to active, ongoing conversations I'm having with the support team. I can pull up all the cases submitted by other individuals within the company for more of a B2B use case. And to further speak to the power of self-service, I can hop into one of these cases, update the case, resolve it myself, if found the resolution, and in effect, this is going to disappear from the agent's queue on the other end, or I can add a comment to the case, I can reply back and forth and really be able to track and manage all of the conversations I have with your support team, with the support team. So let's pretend that Tony Smith, our customer here, has exhausted all of his self-service options and he wants to shoot an email over to support. This contact form that we are looking at here, it's very standard. out of the box, right? Keep in mind that the fields that we see on this form, standard ones and as well as custom ones, are completely customizable. So you're able to push out as many fields as you would like in order to capture that full front end profile about the customer and about the nature of the issue that he or she is submitting, so that on the back end, you have better visibility and a better idea of the workflows, of the rules that you need to create in order to get those cases and the tickets escalated to the right people, to the right team, so that end to end, right, your agents are able to be as productive and as efficient as possible. For today's demo, let's move forward with a very simple use case. How do I cancel? Select the issue type, right? Cancellations, specific message, and you notice on the right-hand side, I'm fed back with that dynamic list of content again, giving the customer, the end user, an opportunity to resolve their own issues without having to escalate it to the support team. The support center is actually sifting through the knowledge base, right? And actively trying to help with case selection. We understand here at Desk.com that our happiest customers are those who are able to resolve their own issues. And we built the product in order to really speak and drive that home. This email sent over, wrapping up the customer's experience, right? We've taken a look at a few examples of how one is able to brand the help center, the different ways where your customers are able to engage with the support team. Now I'm going to transition hats and hop into the universal inbox. Within this inbox, this is where every single case from every single channel that you support, every single brand that you support, Twitter, Facebook, phone, chat, public Q&A, all of those conversations are going to flow into one single instance on the back end that we see here. In the center, this is where all the cases live, right? And right off the bat, I can see the status of the case. I can see the customer satisfaction scores associated with the conversations. These scores are great for a couple of different things. Number one, as an agent, I'm able to gauge the temperature of how valuable the customer has seen the conversation to be so far. And second, I'm able to report on these metrics in the back end and giving you that added visibility in, how happy or unhappy your customers are and the scores associated with each agent, so that you're able to track and develop the right performance improvement plans accordingly. We see that the case we submitted has come in real time. A couple of labels or visual markers have automatically been attached to the case. The cancellation label for one, because I've selected cancellation as the type of issue when I was submitting the case. And of course, the customer label, because Desk.com is able to intelligently acknowledge the specific portal or the specific brand in which the case has originated from. And of course, because of workflows, because of rules I created on the back end, this case has been kicked off to the appropriate filters on the left-hand side. On the topic of filters, I like to think of them as dynamic folders within Gmail. These are a great way to set up different queues for the different types of cases you're getting, for the different brands in which the cases are coming from. So perhaps a brand for customers, another brand or portal for the manufacturers a company might work with, another for the distributors. I can even set up a filter off of customer satisfaction scores. So let's pull in all of the conversations and tickets where our customers have submitted a negative customer satisfaction score of 0 or 1, so that we can get those cases pushed to the very top and bring immediate attention to all the team members or the specific team member who's associated with this queue. We can also create filters for the different channels. So I created one for the tweets that are mentioned at the company, or Facebook messages, wall posts, and comments. And on just wrapping up filters, these are completely customizable so that whomever logs into Desk.com, they're only going to see the filters that are associated, relevant to their day-to-day responsibilities. Of course, in this demo, I'm a super user and therefore we're able to see all of the filters. Back to the case. Let's hop into the specific case. This is the case interface here that we're looking at. And within this screen, I'm able to understand every piece of information I need to know about our customer, Tony Smith, on the left-hand side, as well as important details of the case on the right-hand side. Wanted to pause here for a minute and really speak to the sync between Desk.com and Salesforce. Desk provides the only true bi-directional sync between Desk and Salesforce so that any action I take on the case, the company level within Desk will be reflected and synced real time in Salesforce and vice versa. This is extremely important for companies out there who look for a tight handshake between the support and sales organizations. And the first talking point I wanted to bring up, and the widget that we're looking here, this is where you have flexibility in pulling over any data points that live in your Salesforce instance right into Desk.com. So most recent activity history, account profile information, custom objects, related lists, whatever pieces of information is important for your support team to have visibility into so that they're able to have better conversations with the customers as they're managing support, you're able to pull over and make visible here. Now, if I hop into the Salesforce instance that's linked to my Desk.com account, and I hop into a list of all of my active cases, I can immediately see that the case we submitted into Desk also lives in Salesforce. I'm going to click into that case, be fed with more details associated with the case. And under case information here, we see that the custom field I created is also synced over into Salesforce. So back to the integration, the sync between Desk and Salesforce, you're able to pull over not only standard fields, but custom fields as well. And what field mapping allows us to essentially accomplish is leverage the dashboard engine within Salesforce so that not only are you able to pull in your support KPIs, but do so within the context of your sales data. So now, from our perspective, we are able to have insight into what are some of the top issues that our top paying customers are submitting, and be able to leverage, create customized dashboards, schedule them, and get the metrics that you need for your business. Back to the case here, just wanted to tie it full circle here. This is the same company that lives in Desk. This is the same customer that lives in Desk as well. If I hop into the customer profile within Salesforce, from a sales perspective, the visibility that I have includes visibility into active, ongoing customer service tickets that the customer has submitted. So giving your sales team that full context into the customer history. And in this case, right, I probably am not going to reach out to Tony Smith for an upsell or renewal if I see that he has 5 tickets open and none of those tickets have been responded to. So really giving visibility for both your sales and support teams into all of the active, ongoing tickets, conversations associated with a specific customer, as well as their full front-end profile in Salesforce so that in the very end, you're able to have the best conversations possible with them. Hopping back to the case view itself, let's go ahead and reply to Tony's question here. A couple ways we can do so. before I do that, I want to touch on you are able to add an internal note. This is going to show up as a case comment within Salesforce. Great for internal collaboration purposes. If you, I'm not sure the right way to respond to a question and you want to escalate it to a different team member who has that type of expertise. The first way to reply to Tony is via the knowledge base. I'm able to simply pull it up directly from the screen without having to pull up a different tab or a different window. This is the same knowledge base that we saw earlier within the support center, also drives and powers the internal knowledge base that we see here. I can filter it down by the brand. So whether it's a customer question or an issue that one of the partners is having, further drill down by the topic on the left-hand side. And after I found the most relevant article, I can either push it out as a direct link to the article itself or directly append the text, the answer, into the reply field. Keep in mind that this knowledge base is a combination of both public as well as private articles. So with the knowledge base engine we built within Desk.com, you're able to create knowledge base for your external customers, partners, suppliers that you work with, as well as creating internal knowledge bases if you want to document onboarding processes, best practices to communicate with a customer, etc. Now, the fastest way to reply to Tony's question is via what we call a macro. Macros are essentially shortcuts where with just one click, I'm able to automate a number of different workflows. I can either select from the macro folders below the reply field. Our macros within Desk are channel as well as language intelligent. Or the fastest way to leverage a macro is to leverage an inline, so just typing pound and the macro that I have in mind in regards to the nature of the question. And you can see with that one click, the macro has intelligently referred back to Tony by first name. It has attached a canned response, a cancellations response. Over on the right-hand side, it has increased the priority of the case to a higher level, kicked it off to the billing team, right? And even attached a set of customized instructions for the billing team, letting them know, hey, this customer wants to cancel, just giving them a heads up. So a number of different things that you're able to automate and trigger with that one click. Our customers and their agents love this one specific tool. It really helps them be as productive as possible and in responding back to customers' requests as accurately as possible. And while I'm on the screen, I wanted to bring up just other tools that agents have access to working within Desk to help them answer questions quickly and efficiently. We see related articles, depending on the nature of the question, really able to guide the agents and pull up the right articles. We also allow you to integrate back-end databases, third-party apps directly within Desk here. So that as an agent, I'm able to take action on a specific case, on a specific order in this example, and take that action without having to pull up a different window, log into the billing system or the e-commerce system, and find the right profile, the right customer, the right order number, and take that action there. I can do all of that right within one single interface. All right, let's go ahead, send update on this case here. And before I forget, I wanted to touch on one of my favorite features, and that's the advanced search engine within Desk.com. There may be instances where agents will need to pull up cases in the past or pull together a number of conversations associated with a specific label or custom field. Within Desk, I can search on anything associated with the case, the company, the customer. I can search on keywords, the channel in which the case has come in, the date range. In this example, let's go ahead and search on the bug label. Let's pretend that, this past week, unfortunately, there has been a bug with the product, and a lot of angry customers are writing in about the specific bug, and you want to be able to get back to all of them in a timely and personalized way. What's great here is I can leverage bulk reply within Desk, select all of the cases with this specific bug attached, leverage a macro, and what this is going to do is get back to each of those customers in a personalized way with a message that you want to include in that email. Another great tool to have for your team. All right, I wanted to quickly transition into Business Insights, which is the reporting tool embedded natively within Desk.com, to show how you're able to get the visibility into the metrics you need for the company. First of all, I like to show the dashboard. This is a great tool for support leadership to really get that 20,000 foot view into the health of the organization. It's a real-time dashboard. It gets updated the moment a case is updated, the moment an agent resolves the case. And it's really going to give you visibility into gaps in the business, any spikes in cases, trends across time. So within this view, I can see the number of cases in each filter, right? I can see the number of cases that are open still, my most popular channels in which the cases come in, as well as popular labels, macro, custom fields that have been applied, and even who my top superstars are, as well as the customer satisfaction score for the day. The buckets that we see here are also drillable. So if I wanted more information and details about a specific topic, I can dive and click into that topic. If I drill down into the case volume today by channel, I'm going to be brought to the overview report. This is one of several out-of-the-box reports that come with Desk. And I personally love the overview report because it's a great starting place for you to build and customize the parameters that you need to get you the information you want, the metric that you want. I can filter it down by a date range, right? Now I'm looking at the past 3 months. I can filter it down by the date, the week, a custom date range. I can build additional parameters, such as the channels in which the cases come in, the agents that I want to look at the metrics associated with, even custom fields. So if I wanted visibility into the number of times where customers are writing in about cancellations, right? I can simply build that parameter there, build additional ones if I need to, and apply that condition, those conditions, so that down below, I'm going to get the metrics that are relevant to whatever I had built. Here we see the different buckets and metrics that make up this overview report, such as the number of resolved cases, right? The average time to resolution, the first contact resolution rate, as well as the customer satisfaction scores associated with each of these days. The great thing about these reports is once I built them, I'm able to save them as a favorite. So no need to build them over and over again. I can simply pull the report up from the drop-down list and get right to it. I can download the report, export them out as a CSV, or even send them to other members, other teams within the company so that every single person is able to have a health check on the performance of the organization so far and how support is influencing the overall business. Also want to point out the numbers that we see here, they're also clickable. So if I wanted more information, let's say on the number of resolved cases for this specific day, I can click into it and I'm going to be fed back with all of the relevant cases that make up that specific number. If I wanted more visibility, if something seems out of place, I can click into that specific case, be brought back to the agent interface, and pull up the case timeline. If as a manager, I really want that audit trail and I want visibility into every single piece of edit that has been associated with the case, all the rules that have been run, the teams, the agents that the case has been escalated to. You get that timestamp and you get that timeline so that you're able to hold everyone accountable within the company. we're running out of time. Just wrapping up the power of reporting within Desk. Other reports such as agents, right, labels, custom fields, segmentation, very simple for you to pull up and really derive the metrics that you need in order to make the right decisions for the company.
Cool. Thanks, Francis. We can probably just keep it on the Business Insights tool here. I want to kick it over to questions. I know we gave you a really in-depth demo, but it's really important that you get to see all of what the product has to offer because support is such a complicated process. You often miss a lot of what these solutions have to offer if you don't take a deep dive, right? And it's better to know before while you're making this decision and to make sure that this solution has all the needs, has all the features that you would need. So we have a lot of really, really great questions. We're going to try to get to as many of them as we can, but I'll probably kick it over to you, Francis, since you're a lot smarter than I am about the product. But one really great question that I actually want to take is, and it's a very true question, right? So on our website, anything that you see that's branded Desk.com, it's very, very clear that our target customer and most of our customers comprise those fast-growing companies, right? We're not going to be able to accommodate a DirecTV or a Comcast, right? But that being said, whether Desk.com is the right solution for you has really nothing to do with how many employees your company has, how many customers your company has, how many cases per day that your company gets. It's more about, is an application a solution for your issues, or do you need a platform for your issues? Now, a platform isn't somebody calling themselves a platform, right? A platform truly is a development site where you can build from the ground up, right? With Desk.com, we can absolutely cover, as Francis showed you, we have really, really big customers. Pandora is just one example of that. Munchery is another hugely and quickly growing customer. Fitbit and Spotify were on Desk for quite a while until they grew up and moved on to our Service Cloud product when they blew up so quickly that they needed that platform-like customization. But again, we were able to support those companies during their huge periods of growth, regardless of the number of cases. So obviously, this is a really great question. It's a really in-depth question, but I really want to hit on it because I don't want what solution is appropriate for you to be confused with the number of cases you have or the number or how big your company is. It's not about that at all. It's about the type of cases that you get, right? If you need complete customization where support is seamlessly, just embedded in your business, that might be a platform solution for you where you need complete customization. If you're looking for something like Desk.com, Desk.com is much more out of the box. But now because of our integrations and all the great features and functionality that Francis showed you, you can see that there's a lot of customization, a lot of integration that you can do to make Desk fit within your business. But it's all going to reside within the agent console that you see here, right? So there is customization, but it's not building something from the ground up. Now, we got actually a lot of great questions around the amazing self-service portals that Francis showed. And so, Francis, can you give the folks on the phone an idea of how were some of those sites created? Because I know some of them were maybe just a basic template, and others had to code from the ground up. So can you explain maybe the difference between a Pandora site and maybe like a 53 site?
Of course.
Or even a Bitly site for that matter?
Yeah, of course. So Pandora, Bitly, the couple of customer examples I showed earlier, they've done some custom work with branding that experience. With Desk, you have access to the underlying HTML, CSS, so feel free to really tingle with the look and feel, the branding, the color, however you like. On the other end, we do provide you with several templates out of the box as you come on board with Desk to help you get set up running fast. Like the template that we're looking here on this screen, this is an out-of-the-box template that I simply used for the demo. It was 2 minutes to copy and paste the header, the footer into the admin section on the back end, and voila, you're going to get a template that looks like this. So depending on how you want to design that help center, you can either leverage one of our templates that we give you, or customize it however you like that aligns with the personality of your organization.
Cool, thanks, Francis. So we have another great question, and this is clearly coming from somebody that's much more familiar with our product than probably some of you seeing this for the first time. So in the last 6 to 8 months, Desk.com has transformed tremendously. We've completely redesigned the UI look and feel, and there's still some areas of functionality that are different in our older version than they are with our most current version. And so to address like when will all of both versions have the exact same features, we like to say shortly. I never know what that means with product, right? We are looking to, the way we look at this is we prioritize the features that are most critical to our customers' business. We still have some of our customers, the majority of our customers today are on the new interface, the interface that was demoed for you today, but we still have some customers on the old interface because of some of the functionality that is not yet available in V3. And so I would say continue to check in. We are prioritizing the features that most affect our customers' lives on a daily basis, like which channels you're able to communicate on, or the types of reporting that's available. And so we prioritize based on whatever's most important to our customers, and we're continuing to do that. But to give you guys just some more insight into this, the whole reason that we built a new version wasn't just to reskin the UI. We have literally built Desk from the bottom up, completely changing the architecture so that we can scale much more easily. The more mature we get as a product and the more sophisticated our offering becomes, the more sophisticated our customers are. And so in order to do that and to scale nicely with our customers, we had to build a new architecture that can actually support that high volume, that high level of complexity that our new customers are seeing more and more. So let's see here. A lot of great questions about customization. And so first of all, Francis, maybe you can answer this. So in terms of what you can customize on the agent interface, if that's even possible on the back end, can you talk a little bit about that? Or if maybe that's a question we can pose afterwards, if that's more for a developer. Okay, yeah, so the specific questions about what you can do, you actually do have the ability to go on the back end with either HTML or CSS and make a lot of customizations to the look and feel. And there is sort of a kind of a general editor that you can change the colors and the fonts, etc. But again, we try to minimize that because we want the experience to be as close as possible for our customers so that when we make enhancements, everybody gets the same benefit. Another great question we had was in the notes. How do you notify agents when you submit a note to a case?
So let me actually hop back into the agent interface. So if I wanted to escalate this, push this off to another team, add an internal note, so help, assign it to a team, right, or even a specific agent, and click update. And now what this is going to do is kick this specific case off into Mark's personal filter so that they're going to get notified. And of course, if you want to automatically send a notification to their mobile phones or their email inboxes after every single time a case is escalated to them, you can do so as well.
Great, thanks, Francis. So that's pretty much all the time we have, folks. And again, we have your questions. We will absolutely make sure that we respond to you after this webinar and answer all of your questions directly. But again, thank you so much for joining us. And please, again, this will be posted online. It will be sent to you guys directly if you want to share this out with anybody else that has questions. But again, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, everyone.
And we'll talk to you soon.